Hello, welcome to part 4 of 24. Part 4 of 24. What am I doing? It's Kyle Walker's turn next up on the sandbox. Kyle Walker is there in front of us and we're going to judge his season. We've done all the goalkeepers so far, Muric, Bravo and Edison. And Kyle Walker is the first of the defenders and the last of this night. If it's going out at the same time, I hope it is. This is like Wednesday when I'm doing this. It might be going out tonight. It might not be. If so, go and check out the other videos. If not, there'll be some more tomorrow. But anyway, it's Kyle Walker's time. I thought he had a decent season, Kyle Walker, if we're being honest. I think there was moments where he was pretty poor, and he did have like a 2-3 month period, maybe 3 month period, where he was making mistakes and his concentration levels were dropping. But I want to give Kyle Walker the benefit of the doubt. It's kind of self-inflicted, the problems, but I thought he was absolutely exhausted at times. He was nowhere near as sharp as he usually is. And I think when you got a player who's technically less able, as the likes of, maybe some of the other defenders like Stones and Laporte, I think he has to focus more to be very good in this season, in this system. And when you're tired, your focus loses a little bit and you get a little bit sloppier. And it doesn't come quite as naturally to him. If Bernardo Silva's tired, his touch is still going to be brilliant because he's Bernardo Silva. If Kyle Walker's tired, maybe he'll lose focus a little bit. And he might not be quite as kind of useful as he usually is. And I think that's what happened to him, basically. Now, we've got to remember that he's basically played about 100 plus games already for Manchester City. I think it is over 100 games already. 100 now, maybe. Actually, 100. Since last season. He played right through the summer, obviously, at the World Cup, having played pretty much every game in the previous season. And then he came back over only a few days after the World Cup, which is, in hindsight, a bit of a stupid thing to do. Now, the idea was obviously to impress Guardiola, and Walker's a very physical guy. He keeps himself in good shape. But these decisions, I actually think it started to slow his body down a little bit when he could have done with 2 weeks on the beach. He started the season pretty well, I thought. He was reliable as ever, to good, solid performances, until he started to kind of drop around the winter time, as a few players did, to be fair to him. And he looked a little bit sloppy. He was making rash decisions, passing the ball badly, being caught out of position. A couple of times I thought he was unfairly blamed for a few things because he was an easy target when other people hadn't dropped back into the right place and he was still at the pitch and things like that. But that's kind of understandable, I guess. People always look for someone to blame. Though I do think he had an excellent run-in, a genuinely brilliant run-in. He was so good against Spurs in the Champions League. One of the only players to come out with some credit in the first leg and the second leg onwards. And after that point, he was just fantastic. I thought there was a real drive and tenacity to his game that he maybe lacked a little bit early on in the season. He was running past people a little bit more. He was decisive getting forward. And he was using his physicality and his aggression to sweep up so well when the game's looking a little bit nervy. I thought Kyle Walker was excellent towards the end and one of our most consistent performers in the final run-in. And obviously that run-in is really important. Now, all games are important, but the final ones towards the end of the season, they have an added weight. So any player that steps up there to that level, I've got a bit of respect for. Having said that, he didn't have a great season. He had a good season. I think the good moments kind of clashed nicely. Sorry, they outweighed the bad moments in general. So I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he had some low bits, but some really high bits and some kind of good bits. A very average kind of season, but still in the grand scheme of things, he's a Manchester City footballer and a regular for this club, which means he is still a good fullback. And I think he showed that this season. Maybe he's not spectacular, but you're going to struggle to find a better right back than Kyle Walker around the Premier League. One is that reliable, that consistent, and that willing to learn and work that hard as well. Kyle Walker, I thought, had a good season. And that's the end of part 4 of this video. Let me know if you agree with that score. 7 out of 10, I think, is fair, really. If you cut out a bit of some of the problems, maybe 1 month less of bad performances, you might have been around 7.5 or 8. But as it is, it didn't happen, unfortunately. I want to say thank you, as ever, to these names scrolling down the side here. These are my patrons who's helped support this channel. Thank you very much. And let me know if you agree with the scores so far. There'll be more videos tomorrow. We've got some defenders coming up. I'm just going through the squad list. I think we've got Kompany, maybe Stones, Danilo, a few other players tomorrow. So hopefully you're looking forward to them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss them. And I'll see you soon.